The Accurate Division of the Federal High Court in Ondo State has granted Femi Modamori, a legal practitioner, leave to apply for an order of mandamus to compel the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, to publish the 2021 and 2022 audited financial statement of all registered political parties in the country. Justice T.B. Adegoke, the Federal High Court judge who granted the leave on Wednesday, that was yesterday, also compelled INEC to publish a separate audited 2023 election-related income and expenses of all political parties. The leave granted by the federal court was a sequel to the suit filed against the electoral body of Modamori over its failure to publish the 2021 and 2022 audited annual financial statement, including the audited 2022 election expenses of all the political parties. Modamori had given INEC a 14-day ultimatum in August to publish the aforementioned year's audit report and also provide him with certified true copies. Still with us virtually is Great Imo and Alexa Wilcox. Alexa, this question is for you. What impact does this lack of transparency in political party finances have on the democratic process?
All right, we'd like for you to unmute your microphone, Alexa, so we can hear your thoughts on this one.
Sorry. Thank you very much. I said very nice topic and very nice question. I think this is what we should spend our time in order to deepen our democracy and create more of accountability, rather than dive into areas that is not within our forte, which we can only make conjectures. But the truth of the matter is this: the law provides that every political party must present its accounts to INEC, because INEC registers you. It's like INEC is a regulatory body, just like so many companies, so many institutions that are being regulated by one body or the other. You are supposed to send in your annual accounts to them, because there are thresholds and limits within which campaigns and all whatnot is being measured. So if these things are sent to INEC, INEC can publish them. But unfortunately, over the years, this part of the law has been held in breach. And let me thank the gentleman, the man that went to court. You see, it's like us, we stay in Nigeria and we grumble. The court will not wake up from their benches and go to the streets and look for cases and adjudicate and they give judgment. You come to them, you present what you want to present, your pleadings, you present your evidences, and they make orders. So this man has gone to court on a law that has been held in breach by all the political parties, all. Because I've never seen any political party that publishes accounts. I've never seen. And I've never seen INEC also publish their accounts. Maybe they publish to the office of the general or to the public accounts, I don't know. But these are supposed to be public documents for which Nigerians are expected to see. So kudos to the man that went to court, and also kudos to the judge that gave that order. Well, giving an order is one thing, complying with an order in this country is another thing. So I do hope that there will be a follow-up to full compliance to that order that the judge has given. And let us also know that our judiciary is not on trial at this point. They will make orders based on what you bring to them, and not based on what you think or what social media thinks about any situations.
Great. Thank you, Alexa. Great. This question is for you. I want to know, and I know the viewers also want to know, how can this publication of audited accounts help promote accountability and trust in political parties?
Well, because these are institutions, part of the component units of our larger institutions, that from all of these institutions that we demand accountability, because that is how we arrive at accountability within the national framework. It is a welcome development, and my brother too also mentioned that he was grateful that someone went to court. Actually, there are institutions, including Inec. I shouldn't be grateful that Inec did not do his duty, because that's why we keep saying it's not about what we think, it's about. I keep repeating, those are languages used in gaslighting and gagging people. I'm a media practitioner. When institutions fail, people can hold them accountable. It's okay. But when an institution fails, we should hold that institution responsible based on law, based on rule of engagement. Inec actually was supposed to ensure that these things happen. But now that somebody have gone to court to ensure that these things happen, it is a welcome development. In fact, I tell you, there are even more important institutions in Nigeria. Yeah, as much as political parties are supposed to be, actually, they should have accountability in their dealings. There are stronger institutions in Nigeria, like NMPC, even Central Bank. The recent call for its audit, which was mandated by President Bola Tinubu, is yet to be unveiled. And I don't even know why they're keeping those after the investigation on that institution. Very many institutions, even Inec itself. Inec was given 300 something billion, to ensure electronic vote transmission and all of those things. Some of those failures have not been probed. What is the glitch? We need to probe. We need to ensure that there is accountability on all fronts. Today, churches are considered charity, for example, in Nigeria, but they don't give account. Today, even the institutions of justice, the Supreme Court, all of them are really unaudited. The National Assembly, we just allocate money and we come back for it the next time. When you go through the budget annually, you see there is a repeat of the items of last year. What they simply do is increase maybe the amount. You see that, 1 billion for the purchase of 700 laptops at 200,000. Next year they make it at 300,000.
All right, we seem to have a network glitch there.
The same laptop that was purchased last year, they repeat it next year. The people can encourage this culture of probe and accountability. It's good for Nigeria. It's a welcome development.
Okay, thank you very much. Alexa, this question is for...
Well, John is also in.
Okay.
John, let me quickly come to you now. John, now, do you think the publication of, because we know that political parties are financed by individuals, do you think the publication of the accounts of the parties may lead to prosecution of individuals that brought the monies in?
Thank you for that question, Moses. I think for me, I've always been an advocate of having a stronger institutions with good framework. What will that do for us? It will make our system, so seamless in terms of transparency and accountability. Moses, today, if you ask yourself that all of the political parties in Nigeria, how much was expended in their primaries, not one of them can give you the exact figure they expended for their primaries. Now, why they don't bring out all of these documents is simple, because there will be question as to how did the party get this amount of money. So let's pick up a party, for instance, the incumbent party now. Buying a form is 100 million naira, and you have a whole number of them who contested, for the primaries, 100 million. So the question will now be, how? What is it? What is your source of income that you're able to? How did you get 100 million naira to even purchase the form? Now, because of these questions that will be going back and forth on, that's why we don't have all of these things audited and being published. But ordinarily, these are supposed to be public documents. But Nigeria is a country where if you're asking too many questions, they ask you, okay, what's in your home for this matter safe? Now you get the money, or now you give us money, But we should be a country where we ask questions. Moses, before now in this country, if you come to your house with a brand new phone and your father is not the one who gave you money for that phone, or your mother or your elder brothers and sisters, they will ask you, where did you get this from? Kí n tó lajú mi, mo díjú mi kí n tó lajú mi sìn, that phone yẹn kò láti tó ti mú phone yẹn wá. What you brought home, we didn't buy for you. Where did you get it from? Before I open my eyes, take that product back to wherever it's from. I don't see that in my house. So how did we lose those? Those are our values. Those are our morals before now. How did we lose it as a people, as a country, and as a nation? And I think that for me is a very welcome development when we start asking questions as to even your senator, your House of Rep member, your councillor who gets allocations as constituency allowances and does not, you don't even know how much he or she must have expended as a project. You don't even know who are the beneficiaries of those projects. They say they are buying 100 laptops for who and who. What is the criteria for selection of those owners or beneficiaries of the laptops? They say they are doing empowerment for women and youth. Who are the women and youth that have been empowered? Where are they? You know, these are questions that we should be asked, and these questions are based on accountability and transparency. When our political class see that the people actually arise from that notion of asking critical questions, now not based on the fact that this person is on one other ethnic line, no, not based on ethnic divide or religious divide, but based on the principles of the office. If you have said you are a senator representing my constituency, as a constituent, I have the right to ask you questions. How are you spending our constituency allowance? What are the projects? And we should have a breakdown of all how this money is being expended and who is apportioning this kind of money and project. Where is this project carried out? Some of them say they are constructing schools. You go to the length and breadth of their constituency, you cannot find any school being constructed. And that has been going on for over 8 years now. So Moses, for me, this for me is a welcome development and is a right step in the right direction. And that is why we get to know the source of wealth of some wealthy people who do not have any business they do, all in them of being a governor one time or the other, being a senator, and overnight they become billionaires. So we ask questions. How much is your monthly salary as a senator? How much is your monthly salary as a rep member? How much is your monthly salary as a governor? How many years did you serve as a senator, as a governor, as a House of member? How come you have this amount of wealth? Where did you get that money from? So these are questions we should be asking. And until we get to that point, we are not serious yet. We see the play.
Thank you very well, John. Thank you. Back to you, Alexa. I want there's this question that I want to ask. Why do you think it's important for political parties to upload their or publish their audited accounts? What's the importance?
Thank you very much. Let me clap for John. John spoke my mind clearly on our lost values, our totally lost values. And unfortunately, that is the country we are in. And it starts from our homes, it starts from our houses, it starts from our tribes, it starts from everywhere. John, thank you for that reminder. It was in this country where a girl cannot bring a slippers to his mother's house that he didn't buy. I'm talking of a bedroom slippers. In fact, the kind of cane you will receive. But today, you carry iPhone 13 Pro Max, or what they call it, 15 Pro Max, and your mother will be telling you, snap me now, come and snap me. You don't care where they get the money. So that is where we are in. Now, you see, a lot of things has broken down in our society. Very, 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 very unfortunate. Both in our homes, in our official lives, even in corporate life. Although now, in the corporate world, maybe some of the agencies like SEC, Stock Exchange, like some of the agencies are trying to revive those controls that are supposed to guide corporate behaviors and corporate life. But in government, it's still a problem. That is why a law is always held in breach. Now, it is part of the law that political parties must prepare their accounts and publish. Political parties in Ghana, look, I follow Joy News every day. The way they treat their society is not the same way we treat ours. The Labour Party, the Conservative Party, the SNP, or the Green Party in the UK, they dare not go anything against the law in terms of their party finance. They will all be held accountable. But in Nigeria, no. No, just like my brother Imo is emphasizing on the fact that Hope Uzodinma or that Akpabio or that this man, Bonyeman, had 2 nominations. He also forgot that Obi had 2 nominations or two parties, moved from 2 parties. He forgot to mention that. So when it affects us, we cover it. But when it affects Rama, look, except we are open and clearly open as a people, we will not make a headway. It's not anything. Look, accountability is where we should all be emphasizing upon. Today, if they arrest an Igbo man, Igbo people will rise up. Is it the only one? If they arrest a Yoruba man, Yoruba people will rise up. Is it the only one? What of the Hausa man? If they arrest an Hausa man, he will tell you, what about the Igbo man? So what about the Rivers man? So that's the problem. Who will bail the cat? For me, I think this is where we should be anchoring most of our most of the societal public discourse on how to enforce accountability. And that is why, yes, it is Inec duty, but when Inec held it in breach, let something compel Inec, and that's why I'm thanking the man that went to court. And I hope we will follow this case and ensure that political parties, both Labour, both look, there was a time they said Obi Ekwesili was the party contested upon. After donating money to her, she took the money. I don't know how true the news is. She took the money and then she withdrew from the race. Has that party accounted for that money? All the money that was received by Labour Party from the diaspora, has it been? We hear all the news now. Those ones are in the public space too. We hear them. Has it been accounted for? So let the political parties, let all of us, myself, Great Imo, Mr. John, let us put pressure on all the parties to disclose their source of fund and their income and expenditure. I am an accountant. I'm a professional accountant. I can read through the figures. So let them publish it for Nigerians to see, so that will deepen our democracy. Right. That will help our fight against corruption. Because most money that goes into political parties are corrupt money across all the parties. Most money that goes there are corrupt money. Of course. So we know how some of this money come about. So let us begin to ask for accountability of those things so that we can know what to do.
All right, so let's wrap your final thoughts into this, Alester. Should I consider that your concluding thoughts on this?
Okay, no, let them conclude because of time, so that my other colleagues
can take a bite on it.
Thank you very much.
All right then. So great. Now let's get your concluding thoughts as well. Great, Imo.
Well, only truth can set us free. These may sound moralistic, but I believe that, and again, societies rise and fall on the altar of leadership, and that is why at no point should any individual allow leaders to misuse power, to undermine authority, to undermine constitution and the rules of engagement. Where there are no rules, where there is no establishment, where there is no order, there cannot be progress. Hence, we must, whether somebody sees things from this perspective of political parties, ethnic or religious, he will continue to demand that the rule of law be upheld, that the rules of engagement be respected. One day we will get through to it. As for now, we need to also continue to pray for Nigeria because a lot has gone wrong. We must accept that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Great, Imo. John Akirile, let's get your final thoughts, your concluding thoughts in as well.
All right, my concluding thoughts will be that we should be a working country. Enough of prayer. We have been praying, and I'm sure that God himself will even be tired. And will be saying to us that, are you the only country that was created in the whole of the globe? Let's look at other countries that are working. Some of them do not even have churches or mosques. They have shrines and temples, and they are one of the biggest economies in the world. They have good moral values. And so it will be so sad that we are such a religious people. We die in churches and mosques every Sunday and Friday. We go for videos upon videos, and that does not translate into productivity. And then you even see people swear by the Holy Book, which means we don't even fear God again in this country. And so we must get back to that root where good family ethics and morals is our watchword, where we eat our sweat and according to our capacity and ability. where we do not celebrate, on wealth that we don't know the source, where we do not celebrate immorality as a people, as a country, as corporate entity, and as brands. We must know that for a country to rise, the people will do all that they need to do. So as all of us, we need to rise up and build the country called our own. Thank you very much.
All right, and a big appreciation to the gentlemen that stayed with us today, Lester Wilcox, Great Imo, and John Akirile. We appreciate you for your views and comments on the program. Now let's go straight to business now. In the world of business, the African Petroleum Producers Organization has kicked against the push for a speedy implementation of energy transition in Nigeria and other countries in Africa. APPO, an intergovernmental oil and gas organization with 18 member countries, disclosed that Africa was biggest victim of the speedy energy transition being spearheaded by the developed nations of the world. Now, the Secretary General APPO, Umaru Farouk, disclosed this at the third biannual international conference on hydrocarbon science and technology, organized by the Petroleum Training Institute, which was concluded in Abuja on Tuesday. He stated that Africa was being coerced to stop the exploration of fossils, but pointed out that Nigeria and other nations on the continent owe their people a duty to utilize the abundant oil and gas resources in their various domains for the development of their countries. Now, away from that business story to another one, very, very quickly too, the Nigerian Railway Corporation has said it will launch electronic ticketing for the standard gauge network next week. The announcement was made by the Managing Director, NRC, Fidet Ohiria, during an interview on Wednesday. Ohiria explained that the final testing phase of the e-ticketing platform would be completed on Wednesday, enabling it to go live for a restricted audience before becoming available to the general public. He emphasized that the e-ticketing system would direct ticket sales revenue directly to the government's coffers, significantly reducing the potential for corruption and revenue leakage. And that's the way to go. All right, so those are the business stories that we have at this moment for you. We'll get more stories in subsequent news bulletins. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll delve into entertainment and sports. Stay with us.